Hi, I'm Amy, and this is a space where I'll be sharing how God is refining my life one day at a time. I invite you to join me on this journey as we learn to see ourselves and our surroundings through His eyes versus our own. Let's get started. Hey guys, I wanted to come on here first before the actual footage of this next podcast because I feel like it needs an explanation before jumping right into it. This is the moment where I'm realizing what I've been waiting for this whole time can never be revealed until I take this step into unknown territory. I was kind of getting to that point when I was recording the first episode, but it literally was sinking in during this one. To put it bluntly, it's almost like I've been in some type of face off with God, and not in a purposeful way. But as I'm recording, I'm realizing, no, that's actually pretty much what you've been doing. And it hurts to admit that, because I've worked really, really hard on trying to follow, and I've done my best at that. I want to do my best at being a testimony to what that looks like. But I was like waiting for him to show me more so I could feel ready, so I could have some reassurance. And I think that was disappointing to me. And you'll see it and you'll hear it throughout this episode, because after all this work, how am I still not trusting that He is the reassurance? Him saying, move forward, it's your time to go, is the reassurance. But I've been wanting more, like almost like that wasn't enough for me. But the more I prolonged it, the more other things that have taken my attention have started to fall apart, because it's not where I should be focusing. And I'm just trying to wait it out, waiting for Him to show His cards so I can have comfort. It makes me sad to admit that, and human. It's human to feel that way. But as a Christian, that's not how I'm wanting to live. And through this journey, that's not what I want to do anymore. I feel like I've come a really long way, and I'm happy for all of that growth. And I think it was totally necessary that I had all of that growth with Him and the partnership and the connection with Him, so that I could step into this properly, not completely prepared, not even hardly prepared, but prepared enough to where He can do something with it. But He can do something with anything. And that's the mind game. That's the battle. That's the internal battle. Human nature, worldly things, what makes sense to us on that level versus spiritual. I think this is a testament to how difficult this process can be at certain times. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to keep stepping into it so that we can all see the other side of when you put 100% faith and trust in God. As scary as some of those moments are, how does it work out? There's going to be hard parts. And I need to remind myself of that too. It's not a cakewalk. It's how you show your faithfulness to God. It's not supposed to be easy. It's never been easy. You look all the way back in biblical times, it's never been easy. It's been a lot harder than what I'm doing right now. It's been a lot harder. Like, I can't even imagine how it was to live back then. Oh, no, thank you. I wanted to come on here and explain that before you see one of probably many more breakdowns. To know if you're finding it difficult to take some of those really big steps in your faith to stand up for what you know is right in whatever area that's resonating with you. Maybe it's multiple levels that He's calling you to kind of stand up in your faith and stay strong. It's not always easy. And I think at those moments, it's not supposed to be, because He wants to see you're faithful to Him, even in the hard, that you don't just give up in the hard. And when things feel uncertain and upsetting and difficult and unexplainable and scary, that you don't just give up on Him, because that would be the worst decision that I could make right now. To say, this is too hard. I don't like this feeling, so I'm not doing it. I can go figure something else out that will make me feel more comfortable doing. And I'm just going to go do that. And that's what I was speaking to the last episode, is sometimes we become okay with letting our agenda take over when things get hard, or letting our stubbornness or our fill in the blank take over and keep us from moving forward with the Lord. Now, if a thought just popped up in your head, He's tugging on your heart saying, do the hard thing and see what happens. Like I said, I'll go first. Man, I hope this works out. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to give up. There's that. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to wait and hear what else is out there for me. But I really do feel like this is the calling on my heart. So Jeez, it's a lot of pressure. Maybe I'm doing this all wrong, but I'm going with it. Don't let Satan win. You can cry, you can be sad, you can be upset, you can be irritated, you can be frustrated, you can be all those things, and you can bring all of that to God, and He's there to hear it and work through it with you. But you can't hold it against Him and then turn your back. That's where a lot of Christians go wrong. And I could absolutely do that right now, but I'm going to keep pushing forward as hard as it is, which this episode will be a true testimony to that. All right. As always, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for taking the time. Honestly, there are so many other podcasts that you could be filling your free time with. And I just really appreciate your choosing to do that here with me. It's not lost on me. So that's that. Welcome to Found and Refined. Episode 2. Here we go. Oh, thank goodness I just checked that the mic was on. I have heard so many people say that that's a problem. Oh my gosh. And what the heck, can you not have like glasses on when you're doing podcasting? Because like, look, what do people do? They don't wear glasses? Look at, there's the ring. All right. Well, that's distracting. Thank you guys for being here. I have no idea, as you know, where this is going to take us. And I appreciate you being along for the ride. So welcome to episode 2. I want to start just by being completely open and honest because that's what I want this podcast to be. And I believe that that's what it's supposed to be. I am extremely serious about making sure that this podcast comes with a sense of comfort and honesty, and to know that this isn't a place where you need to feel like you've got it all together. And actually, this is a place where hopefully you feel okay with the times when you don't have it together and you feel encouraged and you feel like you can lean on God and He will get you through those hard times. We can uplift each other, but ultimately, He's going to get you through that stuff. And you need to start putting it in your brain to lean on Him and give it to Him in times of despair or trouble or hardships or imperfection or mess ups or any of that stuff that we all do on a regular basis, myself, of course, included, which I'm so wonderfully going to be sharing all of those great mess ups to you. Which is uncomfortable, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. It's fine. It's fine. That's what I keep telling myself. It's fine. So anyways, today I want to take you back. I wish so badly that I could tell you I've come such a long way on this journey. I really wish I could. And in some ways I definitely have, as it pertains to like my relationship with the Lord and my bond and feeling like the Holy Spirit is just like on fire inside of me and praying for that to get bigger and bigger as this time goes on. That's been extraordinarily awesome. It's been so cool. I feel really happy with the progress that I've made there. That's all internal, right? The growth that I've had with the Lord and with my relationship, that's all internal. That's all in my heart. That's all in my head. That's all in my being, like who I am as a person on the inside. And it will reflect, of course, on the outside and has. This is ultimately the peace that I've felt just through this journey. While still being in a ton of chaos, I've just felt peaceful. And that part is super cool. And that part people can see. But outside of that, I would love to say that the moment I heard God tell me what to do, I ran and did it. You know how many times that if I had heard someone say, like, God told me to, oh my gosh, I mean, even let's just say, like when I would read about Moses and he's like seeing and hearing God, and how many times over and over he's like, excuse your servant, but I'm not the one. I think you've got the wrong person. I think you've got the wrong person. And I remember being so frustrated, like to only have the opportunity, run for it, go for it. What are you doing? Don't fight that. Like it's all in front of you. The burning bush, the Lord, like obviously you're capable. God says you're capable. Now go. And until you're in the moment, I have realized you really can't judge that type of thing. And maybe there are people who just like, they hear something and they run for it. Me, I like to gather information. I like to feel extremely equipped. I like to, have facts behind me so I can know what I'm going up against or what I'm walking into or what I like to be prepared. And it makes me super uncomfortable if I'm not. So, in most situations, I like to be prepared if I'm going to be the one being put on the spot. Some very adventurous human beings out there are like, all right, I got it. Let's go, like run towards it. And I feel like I give those people a lot of credit. And that type of person, actually, you know what? I did do that. Huh. I did do that. I did that. I That's so interesting. When I heard the Lord tell me do podcasting and stuff, I ran with it. I ran so fast. I ran past his plan straight into my plan, which defeats the entire purpose. I continually, yeah, I continually got it wrong. And my impatience, that's so funny that I forgot about this. I fell on my face so many times. Huh. Do you want to know what's really hard? It's really hard for me, given my life experiences, to blindly trust anything. As a Christian, I never would have thought that one day that sucks. Gah. I never thought that I would be asked to blindly follow him. Blindly, completely give up all control and follow. And I would say I've done like an okay job at times, but I've never given 100%. And so this is my 100%. This is that last whatever percent I wasn't doing. This podcast is what gets me to that 100%. And there are certain areas of my life that are never going to move forward. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like not how every podcast is going to be. I promise you. This is just the aha moments, and I'm in the raw truth of it. But there have been things that I've wanted to move forward so badly, um, that can't until I do this part. So here I am, completely clueless in a lot of ways as to what's going to come next. This is what I've been fighting against for a good year and a half, if not longer. I wish I could say actually that I'm like excited about it, but I'm not there yet. I'm not excited. I can't be excited yet because I'm terrified because there's a lot of unanswered questions. It would be so much easier if I was just like me as a young person on my own without any big responsibilities, right? So that just makes it an even bigger leap of faith. Um, I asked for this and I believe in it. This is what I wanted. I wanted a big change in my life. I want to be living the life that I was created to live. And every ounce of my being, no matter how hard I tried to control and make the life that I wanted, that I thought was right for me, it didn't matter how much effort I put into that. It was never going to happen. I love the Lord. I've always loved the Lord. I don't blame him negatively for anything that's happened in my life. I believe that everything that's happened in my life, I believe this to the core. Everything that's happened in my life, good, the bad, he's been there for me in the worst, in the worst times. You guys, this is the worst second podcast I think made ever in the history of podcasting. I'm like sniffling in your ear. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I don't doubt him. Let's be really, really clear about that. I don't doubt him. I completely, I completely doubt myself. I just seriously want to help. However that looks, I love doing it. I've always loved doing it. But like, I thought this was going to be with furniture refinishing. I thought I was going to help people by showing how God was going to help me do furniture refinishing. And throughout this process, that has been completely stripped away from me. And I don't blame him for that. I get it. Like, I couldn't get it off my mind because I literally couldn't think of myself doing or being good at anything else, that I had to be that. And in order for me to get that out of my head, it like had to be taken. And I get that. But it leaves me in an even more vulnerable spot. So I pushed up against that and I've fought it like as much as I can. And it's just been made more obvious that that part of my life is done. And he like it almost just like left my heart. It almost just it's something I love doing so much. And I'll probably always love it. But even like with whatever's going on medically, like I can't even physically do it anymore. First it was my clients. Then it was no, it just all kind of like just ended. It was this last client that I took on most recently. It became so clear. It was painful. It was painful to work on her things. Um Not mentally painful, like physically painful. And it was just this eye-opening moment of like, I physically can't even do this job anymore right now. I'm always going to say like right now because anything could change. Till next time, guys, remember to keep revisioning the world around you. I'll see you soon.